here for just a moment, but I would first of all like to welcome everyone here, family and friends that have come. I am Principal Shelley Clay here at SCC Elementary, and Mrs. Jacobs up here, Mr. Linsmeyer, and Lego Man. Here we have it. So, we have our April Cares Assembly, but before we get started, I wanted to stand down here for just a minute because I think that we need to do another little teach too about what our bodies are going to look like at an assembly, because it's been a while. And it's right here. What happens right down this line right here, kind of where Mrs. Mueller is, we don't want to knock her over. But as friends are called up for Students of the Month, who can raise their hand and tell me, what do we have to do, those of us who are waiting and celebrating for that person? What do we have to do? Bryce, way back there, shout it out. What do we have to do? He said keep our hands to ourselves. Do you think that's a good idea? Thumbs up? Okay. What else do we have to do, especially if we're right here? These friends right here. What do we have to do? What do we have to do, Brett? She said we have to keep our bodies inside the cone. Thumbs up? Yes, okay. Boys and girls, that's because of safety. We don't want anyone to get hurt, and you know what? It's super fun high-fiving kids, isn't it? Okay, but we're going to do that a little later. So if kids come up this aisle, I need all of you to just stay right on your pockets, right inside those cones, okay? And we'll just give them a huge applause. We'll just clap for them instead of giving them high fives. Sound okay? All right, let's get started. We have Students of the Month to celebrate today for showing great self-control this month. And boys and girls, you are doing that right now. So you're going to show us what that looks like. Okay, so let's get started. We have kindergarten first. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Miss Ella Aguirre. Come on up, Ella. So bashful. All right, our next one for showing great self-control, Cole Stave. Cole, come on up. Our next kindergarten student of the month, Miss Loretta McKenna. Okay, next up for kindergarten, our self-control student of the month is Caitlin Ryber. Caitlin. She told me a little while ago she knew she was going to be up here today. And the next person we have is Miss Paige Gary. Paige, come on up. All right, and last but not least for kindergarten, student of the month for showing self-control is Carly Hemingway. Come on up, Carly. Unicorn and all. All right, kindergartners, we're going to have you turn and look at Mrs. Fritchie. That's you. And family and friends that want to take pictures, you're welcome to from afar, but afterwards we'll welcome you to come up and you can take close-ups of your children as well. Congratulations, let's give it up to the kindergartners. This is Trix. All right, first graders are up next. So let's be ready for them. Our first grader showing great self-control this month is Miss Hannah Cobb. Right, look at that great self-control, is right. All right, next up, first grader, Miss Madeline Johnson. Great support, friends. Excited moms out there. Oh, I should have known. Grandma. All right, and our next first grader, Miss Adeline Brown. Come on up, Addie. Next up, oh, I believe he has a birthday tomorrow as well. Mr. Blake Schmidt. Come on up, Blake. I got a great brownie from him today. All right, next up we have out of Mrs. Parsons' first grade class, Miss Emma Hofs. I always mix it up. Pace. Okay. All right. That is all of our first graders. You're going to look at Mrs. Trent there for a nice smile. All right, thank you, second graders. Second graders, are you ready? Yes, so. All right, our very first second grade student for showing great self-control, Miss Grace Kerper. All right, next up, second graders. Out of Mrs. Fritz's class, Mr. Warren Rust. All right, next up, I have out of Mrs. Lindbergh's room, and I saw Mom and Dad trying to hide just a bit, Miss Miranda Kuzlet. Come on up, Miranda. All right, next up for second grade, we have Mr. Dane Gottfredson. All right, in our last but not least, second grade student of the month this month, we have Miss Breslin Hinsman. Let's give it up to our second graders for showing great self-control. In third grade, Mrs. DeSalvo's class, Miss Brooke Nally. Ooh, she needs a wave. All right, next up we have Miss Hannah Zhang. All right, third grade. Next up we have Miss Kylie Wagner. Okay, our last but not least third grader, for showing great self-control this month, Brennan McLaren. All right, let's give it up to our third graders. All right. Last but not least, we have our fourth graders coming up. Well, I guess we have a couple more beyond that. Fourth graders, our first self-control student of the month, Miss Kennedy Burr. She does not take after her father. Next up we have Miss Lacey Knowles. Okay, boys and girls, are we ready? Next we have Miss Ruby Goosen. Oh, there she is. All right, fourth graders. Next up out of Mr. Mulholland's room, Mr. Riley Rutherford. Okay, next up. Our next fourth grade student of the month is Miss Caitlin Kessig. Okay, and last but not least, our last fourth grade student students of the month. These two are chosen throughout the entire school by our specialists, and we have a boy and a girl today that have shown great self-control throughout the school year. So we would like to really take a moment to recognize them. The first one is Mr. Joseph Pettit. There she is. All right, and next we have Miss Hannah Whithoff. Hannah, come on up. And we have staff of the month. So we put a big drawing in with all the great things that are happening. So boys and girls, show me you're ready. Give me 5. There we go. It's like magic. Here we go. First up, I'll read them, and then if you would want to come up, Mr. Meyer. He is one of our 3rd and 4th grade teachers. Come on up, Mr. Meyer. Of joining his class in science and doing fun experiments with them and just having fun with kids. Awesome. Next up we have Mr. Nielsen. Mr. Nielsen is one of our 3rd grade teachers here at St. Croix Central. He gets a shout out because he goes the extra mile for kids every day. And last but not least, we have Miss Mona Nelson, one of our custodians. Come on up. Miss Nelson is one of our custodians that the children see each and every day, and she has made special relationships with them. She works so hard, and our school looks wonderful. Let's give it up to these staff members. Picture, Mrs. Schmidt. All right, I'm going to hand it over to Mrs. Jacobs, our assistant principal, so we can begin what our focus is for the next month. But I just want to thank all families and friends for the support that we get for your students here. We could have chosen any one of these guys for Student of the Month, and they know it, so thank you.
All right, friends, show 5. Thank you. We are so lucky today because we have friends from Kids Care who have been working really, really hard to introduce our new trait for next month. So Kids Care, come on up.
for our 2nd through 6th grade. We do have 6th graders and 1st graders, a few 1st graders, Kids Care students. We were asked a while ago to come up with a little play or a skit to talk about the character trait of honesty and being truthful. We sat down, that the most common thing that we talk about with that is lying, right? Little lies, big lies. But there's other things that go along with that too. Maybe it's not just a lie, but it's something where you're not very honest. So we talked a lot about what we could do and what kind of play we could do that we would include all of our friends from Kids Care. It's not the same kids every night, it's a mixture of kids, but this week we've had 40 every single night practicing, but it's not the same kids. So we really haven't had a chance other than today to practice all together with all the same kids. So I'm just so proud of them for even putting themselves out there. For a lot of them, it's their first time ever on a stage. So are we ready? Okay. All right. Our story takes place, and it is going to show you what happens what can happen to a lot of other people when somebody maybe isn't very honest or trustworthy. So our story takes place in a town just like this one, where everybody knows everybody. This town every year threw a huge scavenger hunt. Everybody that from the town would come. There was a blue team. There was a green team. There were cheerleaders and family and friends in the stands cheering on these teams. There was a coach from the blue team. There was a coach from the green team. There were judges because this was a very important event. And this year, the local news station caught on and they sent their sportscasters. Unfortunately, they were much more concerned about their appearance and how they looked on camera and weren't really that good at the whole sportscasting thing. And then they brought with their trusty cameraman who was kind of annoyed about how much they cared about their appearance. So here we go. This is how the day went. While the teams and everybody gathered for the annual scavenger hunt, the teams were both stretching. The sportscasters were making sure that they looked good, and the judges and coaches were discussing the rules for the upcoming scavenger hunt. At that time, somebody, Nathan, noticed that nobody was keeping track of the map for the scavenger hunt. He thought to himself,
"What could it hunt?"
Nathan decided to go over to the map and memorize where every single thing on there was. Because everybody was so busy, no one noticed except for Hannah. Hannah did not know what to do, and unfortunately the race was ready to begin, so she didn't have time. The race was ready to begin. The teams lined up at the starting line. The coaches and the judges did the countdown.
3, 2, 1, go!
While the race was going on, the sportscasters took the opportunity to interview the coaches.
So Matthew, your team is doing okay, but how do you think you're going to do in the outcome of this race?
Well, I don't really know.
Here's Tanner, our okay-looking sportscaster.
Okay, Kate, how do you think your team's doing so far?
They're doing really good. I don't know how they're finding all these eggs, but it seems like Nathan's finding most of them, so.
Okay. Seems like Nathan is our all-star.
Yup, the all-star, I'll say.
Well, the end of the race came. All the players and the fans were anxiously waiting for the results. Hannah could not take it another minute. She felt terrible inside. She brought Nathan over to the side.
What were you thinking? I know what you did.
What could it hunt?
It could hurt a lot of people.
So here's what we decided. When we went back, we talked about all the different people. We talked about all the different people involved here and how they might feel as a result of Nathan's one little choice. How do you think that the parents felt that were there to watch them and all of the other people on the blue team and green team felt? How do you think they felt? Sad. Go ahead. We also decided that honestly, probably the people on his team were, because they were there to play fairly. They didn't make that choice, did they? And then their team probably had some consequences. We decided some of the people who had come, the judges, the cheerleaders, people that had traveled to come and see that, probably were pretty disappointed, and probably his parents too. We decided that probably the only thing they were disappointed about is that they didn't get more attention, but right? Yes, yes. And we decided that Nathan probably felt pretty guilty. Who else do you think felt pretty guilty in this story? She was in a tough spot, wasn't she? They were friends and teammates, but he made a bad choice. Maybe if there had been a little bit more time, she could have done something, but in the end, she didn't and kept that in, and it didn't feel good. And then we talked about how it might have felt after Nathan told the truth, after he finally told everybody. What do you think he was feeling about himself, and what do you think his parents and proud? He was probably pretty proud of himself. And does anybody, it's a really big word, but does anybody know what this is? Relieved. That's the feeling when something is making you sick, or maybe you haven't been honest about something, and even if you're scared, once you let it out, you feel so relieved. I'm sure we've all felt that way, which in turn made everybody in our town happy. Thank you very, very, very much.
All right, thank you, Kids Care. Next up is Mr. Lego Man.
Thank you, Kids Care, for that play. I just want to say that once again, here I am, and I want to thank all you kids, parents and grandparents for being here today. And we discussed self-control. I had a short month this month. Because of spring break, I was only able to go to 3 classrooms to talk about self-control. But it was an important characteristic, and the 3 classrooms I went to, I was able to talk about certain students that had good self-control. I also talked about some of them that not so much. They need to work on their self-control. However, I was able to present my traveling Lego trophy to those 3 classrooms, and especially to the teachers. Those 3 teachers show self-control every day when they come in here and teach their students the things they need to know about school and in life in general. And so the teachers were awarded the trophy as much as the students this month. And everybody clapped for the teachers as well. But some of those students had real good self-control, and I kind of pointed that out, and the rest of them are going to work on it. Now we're transitioning over to another characteristic, honesty. Honesty is really important, not only in school, but it's something you need to carry with you, kids, throughout your life. Honesty means being truthful. And when you're truthful and honest, you become trustworthy. And a trustworthy person makes a lot of friends. And so if you're honest, you're going to have a lot of friends that stick with you throughout your life. Also, Mama Mama Lego told my brother Duplo and I, honesty is the best policy. And I really believe that. Honesty will follow you throughout your life. And so now we're going to head into another month and reward the classrooms that show honesty the best that I notice with the Lego Traveling Trophy. And so keep on being honest, be a friend to everybody, and we'll see what kind of a month it turns out to be. I want to say that everything here at St. Croix Central Elementary is still awesome, just like it says on my back. You guys are awesome. So keep up the good work, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Lego Man. And last but not least, last month, we had friends from our Fuel Up group talk about a drawing. So they brought Mason Crosby with today. Go Pack Go! And they are going to do a drawing, so listen up.
Hello, SCC. We are excited to see who is the winner of the autographed Mason Crosby football. Thanks for participating in the 5210 challenge to earn the chance to be entered in the drawing. First off, let's see whose name will be entered. 5. Stand up if you ate 5 fruits and vegetables each day during week 1 of the challenge. Okay, now quietly take a seat. 2. Touch your nose if you limited your screen time to less than 2 hours after school during week 2. Okay. 1. Stand up if you and remembered to get 1 hour of active play during week 3. Now quietly have a seat. 0. Finally, who limited all sugary beverages during spring break?
Congratulations to those of you who participated in the challenges. Even if you are not chosen as a winner of the autographed Packer football, you demonstrated self-control, perseverance, and a commitment to follow through with a goal. That's great. Well then, here we go. The winner is... a girl in first grade in Miss Parsons' class, Julia Hurry. Come on up and get your football.
Bracelets to give away. We will be selecting entries from the challenge and we'll give them to the homeroom teachers early next week. Next month we look forward to pedaling a bike to make fruit smoothies for all of you to sample during lunchtime. Coming soon with be the endless hopscotch board and colorful map of the United States painted on the blacktop. Spark activity, active play during your recess time. Remember, eat healthy, get your 60 minutes of play in every day.
Thank you, guys. All right, thank you to family and friends who joined us today. Thank you to all of you for sitting. I know it's so hard. Have a